Well, we're in the Clinton County Government Center, right in front of the Department of Motor Vehicles on the 27th day of February 2006. A cool day outside and a warm day inside, and we're here to talk about some North Country artwork to two of my good friends named Joseph, and about Grandma Moses. If you can believe all of that stuff. And right now I want our camera people to meet Joe Crouse. How are you, Joe?
Good, thank you.
I'm delighted to be here with you. You stand right still there, and I might move a little closer to get your face. It was pure serendipity how I got to be here with you today. I talked with your sister-in-law, Laura, right?
Yep.
Laura Crouse, who's a receptionist at the Press Republican, where I drop my column off every week, and she and I are friends. She knows that I'm interested in ghost stories. She said, my husband, Michael Crouse, has ghost stories. Then I talked to you on the phone, and you said, hey, I'm his brother. I got ghost stories too.
Yeah, I do.
Isn't it amazing how things like that come together? But she told me that you had this presentation down here at the Government Center of your artwork. And then Joe Sweenyer called me on the phone and said, hey, we're going to be there tomorrow morning. If you're going to be there, that's fine. I said, what time? He said, well, after Mass. Well, we're here today, and how are you doing?
Good.
And I even sick Jack LaDuke on Joe this morning because it's important, I think, when you have this kind of talent to make sure it gets spotlighted. Tell me a little bit. Now, you're from the Saranac area, Dannemora?
Dannemora. Yep.
Bart Merrill Road. Mm-hmm. And what was your mother's maiden name?
Robertson, Dorothy Robertson.
And that's significant because?
Grandma Moses, Anna Mary Robertson.
And that is your mother's aunt, right? Or was your mother's great aunt?
She's my great aunt.
Yeah. And the interesting part of it is everybody in the cotton picking family just about likes to draw and paint pictures. Mm-hmm. How old were you when you knew about this Grandma Moses connection, Joe?
I had been young.
Just heard about it all your life?
Yeah, just how things were.
Where did your mother grow up?
White Creek.
She did?
Yeah, it's by Hoosick Falls.
And that's not too far from where Grandma Moses lived, right? She lived where?
Over in Eagle Bridge.
And what was her real name?
Anna Mary Robertson.
So you were familiar with her paintings?
Yep, I've seen some.
And you know that she was pretty famous even when you were a young guy, right?
Yeah.
But was your mother always drawing and painting when you were a little guy?
Yeah, she was doing that. And my grandfather was too.
I forgot your grandfather, let me see, what was his name? Wilfred?
Wilfred Robertson.
And he was painting. Mm-hmm. And are those paintings all, some of them in your house?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I should tell people that we're recording the first part of this interview in the Government Center. And then we're going to, later on in early April, we're going to go up to your house, Joseph, on the Bart Merrill Road and meet your mom and other family members and see all this artwork. Can you remember, do you have some of the first drawings you ever did? Come over a little closer because I got a microphone in the camera. Can you remember some of your early drawings?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
As a kid, what did you like to draw best?
Well, they had Planet of the Apes, and we were drawing a lot of those.
I should have known.
I don't know if I have any left, though. I don't know where they are.
Really? Unlike my wife, who saves everything I ever draw. Your mom didn't save everything?
I think we have them. I just don't know where they are.
Well, maybe when the time comes and you get rich and famous, or at least famous, we'll drag out some of that old stuff. Where did you get the idea of having this little art show down here in the Government Center, Joe?
Actually, Joe Sweenyer called me up and said it was available. Because I guess Fred Arce couldn't make it. He was scheduled to do it, and he couldn't.
Well, Fred was here. Fred's been here once before. Joe.
Yes.
How are you, my friend?
Very well, thank you.
I'm delighted to see you again, and how thrilled I was to hear your voice on the telephone saying, hey, we got something we got to do here. Isn't it nice to be able to spotlight a talent like this?
It is. This is a big find for me this year, just getting to know Joe and also getting to know his artwork, which is excellent and very diverse. And I think he will find those. And I think I've seen one of the Planet of the Apes
Oh, really?
drawings, yes. Joe has a real skill with the pencil drawings, too.
We're
And
gonna
a
have
lot
to
of
get in
these,
those drawers and those cabinets and those
Absolutely.
closets and those shoe boxes and get some of this stuff out again. It's
Absolutely.
great to be able to spot a talent like this. You and I have known each other for a long time with your involvement at the college, right?
And I remember your work with the documenting the one-room schoolhouses.
Oh, my
And that work
goodness.
is still at the college, is still available to people.
Isn't that?
It
That's
is,
a long
yes.
time ago.
Must have been in the 1980s, I think, when you did a big
Oh,
project
my,
on
my,
that.
my.
Yes, fine job.
Every community had a one-room schoolhouse, and I've written so often about how those teachers had as big an influence on our lives as our own parents did sometimes.
Absolutely, because you were with them for many years.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Isn't that
yes.
neat? Now, do you still work at the college?
I retired. I retired in 1995. I do a little bit of work now for the New York State Archives as a consultant. I go to historical collections and advise them how to care for their materials and make them available. And of course, it's very nice to learn more about artworks because some of these libraries and historical collections have these too.
There's so many wonderful organizations preserving our North Country's history and making it popular for the masses. And, you know, you and I talked about our mutual friend Wayne Miller and how he's working with the Malone Historical Association down in Franklin County, and it's great.
It is, absolutely, Gordie.
Great. So have you known this guy for a long time?
I've known Joe, to say hello to, for quite a long time.
Yeah.
This year we got more acquainted and have been going well. Actually, the first time I went to his home, I got knocked right off my feet by the paintings because I knew he painted somewhat. He told me, and his mom had told me that she painted. However, I'd never seen any of their works. And I happened to go to their house this year, Thanksgiving Day, and while I was wiped away. And so ever since then, they've been wiping me away continually because every time I go, there's a new work comes out. Either things that Joe or Dorothy have done in the past, or works. Joe's done a lot of work in 2006. So but I don't think we're at anywhere near the bottom. I wouldn't use the bottom of the barrel because that's not a very good expression. I say the bottom of the collection would be a better thing to say because it's not. The more and Joe's done some early works that I've seen he did in high school, which are excellent. Beautiful line drawings.
Your job is to keep him going.
Absolutely.
And don't let him put that pencil and that pen down for a while.
Absolutely. Yeah, we joked. We said we're going to, between his mother and I, we should be able to keep him going right along. That's all there is to it, because he's got to keep. This year's been great for him. He's done 6 works so far this year. And
I love it.
It's only February.
I love it. I'm just going to stop the tape for a second
Okay.
and turn around the corner because I want to see all of them before we go. Okay?
Great. Sure thing.
Joe, what's the story in the pumpkin here? Come on over and tell me about that.
It was just Halloween time. I'd sketch it out, something nice.
Isn't that great? It was Halloween time. Draw a
Halloween
pumpkin,
time.
right? And you said a few minutes ago, well, we have to have cartoons,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I did a lot of those for my niece.
This is wonderful. And you said you don't know where they are right now, but
I don't even think she knows.
when did you do this one, do you think?
That'd be about 96, I think.
We're talking
596.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, did you think when you were a little kid that you might like to do this for a living someday?
No, it's just
Mostly for your own enjoyment.
well, it's just something I did.
Did you take art courses?
I had my first one in 10th grade. That was like playtime.
And who was your art teacher? Can you remember?
Mr. Gordie. I was in Cambridge.
Oh, I see. You didn't graduate from school up here then?
No.
Ah. So what if you must have done something for a living? Right now you're unemployed, right?
Right.
But what did you do for a living before that?
Worked in restaurants. Worked against the barrels.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's terrific.
Doing skinny.
It's just great. How are you doing?
Love your column every week.
Thank you. So you brought something like, let's just walk over this way. You brought about 28 pictures with you today to the Government Center.
Yeah.
They've been on display since very early in February.
I think February 3rd.
And actually, we're doing this on the 27th, so on the 29th, or 28th, tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock, you'll be taking all of this down.
I'll have to take it all down. It should all fit into one box.
Well, you did very well to get it up here. Joe said he was amazed at how you got it up here. What's this drawing of down here?
That's Padre Pio.
Is it really?
Yeah.
What a beloved character, huh? Had you ever studied about his life before?
I've read about him.
You took that from a photograph, or?
Yeah, photos.
Oh, isn't that great? I love some of the other things too, like this old tractor. I love old tractors. Is that one you saw and drew, or you saw a picture?
Actually, somebody gave me a snapshot because they wanted me to paint it. But that's when I was with the plumbers and I quit. And I still had the picture. And I never got the painting to him. I don't know
Unbelievable.
if I painted that one or just drew it.
Now, your brother is Michael. You have one brother?
I've got two.
Two brothers. And Michael,
Jim and Mac.
and Mike lives around here in Plattsburgh.
Yes.
He draws and paints a little bit.
He doesn't like to make it known.
Too bad, we already told everybody. We all, you know me, I'm the original blabbermouth.
Yeah.
Well, it's enough that he tells good ghost stories. I can't wait to get together with you guys sometime and turn the lights down low and light a candle and talk about ghost stories, because you lived, where was that house that was haunted that you lived in?
Wait, correct.
Really?
It was about, it must have been 1750s.
When it was made?
Yeah,
Built?
yeah, that was old.
Oh my goodness. But that's a whole nother story, right, Joe?
That's another story.
Well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get together when more of the family members will be there. Who will we have there in early April when we go to your house?
My mother should be there, and hopefully Mick will be there too.
We'll get Mick there, and we'll get Joe Sweeney there, and we'll get the whole cotton picking family there, and we'll look at a lot of photographs and picture, because you said you love to take photographs as well.
I've got them on my computer. I didn't.
Oh, do you? Well, we can look at a computer too, but we'll look at a lot of drawings and paintings, and you can see some of those things you did years ago that you might have in drawers and cubby holes.
Actually, I found a lot of them.
Did you really?
I showed Joe a lot of them.
That's great. Well, Joe, get over here a little bit. You've got faith in this young man.
Absolutely.
You've seen a lot of artwork in your day.
I've been to a lot of art shows. I collect local art, and this guy is tops. I have great confidence in him. And the wonderful thing is that he's continuing. He didn't just stop. He's doing a lot of painting now in 2006, which is just great.
You're the gadfly. You're going to keep him going. That's your mission.
Absolutely. Between me and I think, see, his mom's got a pretty strong mission there too. She encourages him a great deal also.
I think it's wonderful that both of you go to mass every morning, right?
Yep.
Up in Katyville.
Yep.
And that's wonderful, and that's why you said we can't meet you till 9:30 this morning,
That's
and
right.
that's why we came here today. Well, we're going to close this portion of our interview off. You're going to go and meet with Jack LeDuc and do another piece for the North Country, and Calvin and Hometown Cable and I will be there with your mother and Mick and who knows who else, you, Joseph.
Okay, great.
on-
Thanks,
on-
Gordie.
in April, and we'll put together a good program. In the meantime, just keep that brushstroke going, will you?
Oh, yes.
See you later, my friend.